excited when I can bring in, or we bring in a guest on the defensive side, so I won't be outnumbered from an offensive perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all know the rules are tailored to help out the offense, to help score points.
Here we go.
To help sell tickets.
Here we go.
People in the seats. I get it. No, I get it, guys. Nobody else should be freaking out. Nobody should be freaking out.
Here we
I'm just
go.
saying the truth.
Well, we're starting this pretty early, huh? Some help for you today.
Yeah. No, well, I don't need help, but it's nice to have reinforcements. I'm winning the war, but it's also nice to have
I think you need some help.
No, I don't need help. And no, I don't need help. Y'all need help. Yeah. Mental and physical.
Bring your help. Touchdown.
Yeah. Super Bowl champ KJ Wright joins us to discuss all things NFL. I'll tell you why Aaron Judge will be a Yankee for life, and Cone tells NBA TV to get off his lawn. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Y'all know we get saucy in here. You need to check out Tessa Mays as well. Very excited. I'm bringing in David Cone, Blaine Crane, co-host. This is Crane & Company. Typically, we start off with a monologue on the top of the show, but we want to bring in a Super Bowl champion, one of the guys I love to watch play at linebacker, with the Seahawks long time, with the Raiders free agent right now, doing a lot of great stuff. Mr. KJ Wright. KJ, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing great, man. I appreciate you joining us. A lot of stuff going on as we get ready for the draft. The season will be here before you know it. You know that better than anybody. But where I want to start with everything that's going on, and we're going to get to Deebo Samuel in a minute, but Baker Mayfield, KJ, is very interesting to me. You look at the market for quarterbacks right now. We've seen a lot of movement this offseason. You look at the draft, not a lot of people are super fired up about the quarterback draft class right now in the NFL. When you look at Baker Mayfield, number one, what do you think about him as a player? And number two, what do you think is a likely destination or maybe the best fit for him moving on?
So the thing with Baker is that Baker has all the physical tools you want in a quarterback. Dude has a cannon for an arm, and when he's on fire, he's consistent and does well. But the thing with Baker is that when things go bad, I don't know who I'm getting as a quarterback. I believe with Baker, he needs to hit the red button when it comes to checking in on his mentals. Like when things go, you can't just start getting media, start tweeting back at fans and all this stuff. He has all the talent, but mentally he's kind of struggling a little bit. And so I love his talent and where he's going to end up. I don't think that there's any trade value for him. I believe he needs to sit behind a good quarterback, learn what it's supposed to look like, and just hit the reset button.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, too, sometimes if he kind of lost a little bit of that chip on his shoulder kind of coming out. You remember he was a walk-on that transferred, then won the Heisman. I'm going to prove everybody wrong that says I'm too small. You're the number one draft pick. I wonder if he's lost that a little bit. But kind of switching up. You know, I'm looking, you've played against the best of the best in the NFL and looking at it from a division standpoint. KJ, I'm looking at the AFC West right now, and I'm looking at the quarterbacks alone in that league and what else has been added. I mean, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, adding who they've added. Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. We know the Chiefs, what they have with the witch that is Patrick Mahomes, even though Tyreek Hill isn't there. And that's not even mentioning, the Raiders as well with Derek Carr adding Devontae Adams. Is this the best division, at least before the season, that you've seen in a long time?
In a long time, yes. When I was with Seattle, we had the Rams, who were always good in my eyes. And Carson Palmer with the 49ers. And but this division, quarterback speaking and offensively speaking, I believe in my 11 years is the best that I've seen. I had the honor to play with Russell. Patrick Mahomes put up 40 points on us twice this past season. You get Derek Carr and Devontae Adams to get that thing going in Vegas. I believe that offensively, it's going to be primetime football. And so it's going to be really fun to watch. Right now, I have the Raiders as the best team in that division.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got Raiders as number one in that division. And so it's going to be really fun to watch and see how those quarterbacks compete against each other and try to see how those defenses, try to slow the offense down.
So you think Derek Carr can be a Super Bowl championship quarterback with the Raiders? I know adding Devontae is a big piece. Yes. They played together in college. But you think Derek Carr is a Super Bowl style winning quarterback, I guess is the best way to put it.
Well, having the opportunity to play with Derek Carr, he can be offensive MVP. He can be a Super Bowl champion. You look at the talent he has around him. Don't forget Darren Waller. Don't forget Hunter Renfrow. Bringing in Josh McDaniels, who has a blueprint to get into the Super Bowl. And so Derek Carr has all the tools. He has all the confidence. I had the opportunity to watch him have a few game-winning drives to lead us to the playoffs this past season. And so he has all the tools to get it done. And I got the Raiders winning the division.
Yeah. Nice. Blaine, if Booster Club has any questions, get them hot over there. Coney, what you got?
I want to piggyback off the quarterback question here, but I want to expand beyond just one division. You've had the opportunity to play against arguably 3 to 5 of the greatest quarterbacks ever to play the game. Who was the most difficult to play against and why?
It's not even close, and it's Tom Brady. It's just his mentality. Right now he's 40 plus. He just has 15, 20 years of just NFL experience on a lot of guys in this league. And so there's nothing you can throw at him that he hasn't seen. There's no blitz that he hasn't seen. And even when he's rattled, he doesn't fade. He doesn't get rattled. We was up by him in the Super Bowl by 2 touchdowns in the second half. And when you have our defense with the Legion of Boom and our pass rush, you expect us to win that ball game 9 out of 10 times. But this man just kept his poise. He took his time, just drove it down the field, getting the win. And so I played Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, but Tom Brady's number 1.
Wow. So what do you expect from Tampa Bay now that Brady's going to come back this season?
Anytime Brady's at the quarterback, they have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. I thought they was going to go last year. And just what he brings to the table, that offense, they're going to find a way to be in an NFC Championship game again, and the team just got to outscore them, get the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
Well, KJ too, and I'm kicking to Blaine in a second, but talking with some guys in the league, I asked them kind of what separates Tom Brady and maybe a couple other guys from the others, and an answer I get a lot with not only Tom Brady but Peyton Manning as well is we all know that quarterbacks and OCs are the greediest people on the planet. That's just how they are. They don't want to throw the check down the whole way. They don't want to throw the hitch the whole way. They'll get a little fancy with the RPOs, but they want to hit the home run. They want to push the ball down the field. But they told me that Tom and Peyton were the only 2 guys really that didn't care. They would nickel and dime you down the whole field for the whole game. Is that a true statement?
And that's why I hate it. That's why I mean, Drew Brees was someone that was excellent at that as well. You could drop back. It's not there. Let me get 5-6 yards by my running back and keep these chains moving. And so really frustrating by our defense because we always preach defense. Stay on top. Eliminate the explosive plays. Keep everything in front of you. But when they check it down and their running backs get you in the open field, they can also create some big explosive plays. And so these quarterbacks, they know what they're doing. And it's all mental. It's all mental with these guys. And you can mentally beat defenses. You got a really good chance.
Yeah. Well, hell, James White's made a career out of doing it. And one of the greatest sayings, I think, in football is, you never go broke making a profit. I think they both implement that pretty well. What you got?
For sure. Hey, KJ, appreciate you coming on the show. Made a lot of plays with you and Bobby Wagner on Madden. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. Yeah. But, hey, what's your thought? Because it seemed to be somewhat of an even split here. What's your thought on the new overtime rules?
How's it go? Refresh, because it's one with the regular season, it's one with the playoffs, right?
So I believe in the playoffs, each team will get a possession in the playoffs.
Just keep it the same. I do. Here's the thing, defensively speaking, I don't like the rule. I don't believe that both quarterbacks should get the ball. If we can drive down and I can get a touchdown on you, then you guys should be able to win the game. If I say you hold it to a field goal as a defensive player, next team, you got to either get a field goal or a touchdown. And so, in my eyes, if you could drive down 80 yards and score a touchdown on me, then you got the right to win the ball game. That's me as a defensive player.
Yeah.
But from a fan standpoint, I believe everybody wants the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes go back and forth. But I was looking like they need to stop them. What are they doing? And so, the rule is always we want to get the fans happy, keep the ratings up. And so I definitely get it.
Yeah, love that. All right, hey, news just broke. Deebo Samuel wants out of the 49ers. Where do you think would be the best landing spot for basically the entire offense from the 49ers, not as Deebo Samuel?
Here's the thing. This is all smoke and mirrors. Deebo is not going anywhere. What I'm looking at is they were in contract negotiations. And here's the inside, fellas. Teams get real disrespectful when it comes to negotiating these contracts. They could have threw out a 4-year, $70 million contract to Deebo. To y'all that, that sounds really good, but he's looking like, I need 100 plus, like what Tyreek got, what Devontae Adams got. And so things can get really emotional. Things can get tense. And so you just need to calm down. You're not going anywhere. You literally are the best offensive player, or the second best offensive player on that team. Everything will handle itself, and this contract going to get done.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, it's gone all over the internet. We talked about yesterday, too, players removing the team, what team they play for from their profile. It's kind of a new tactic, new
tactic.
negotiating tactic.
Social media era, man. It's something else.
It is.
It's toxic.
It's actually, from a player's perspective, it's pretty smart, too, if you think about it, because everybody freaks out. You remember when Kyler Murray took all the Arizona Cardinals stuff off his? You'd have thought somebody was invading us from the north, the way people
It's almost like the version of breaking up with somebody through a text.
Yeah.
It's basically the version of that.
Yeah. Those ones typically don't come back. But, KJ, we got 2 new leagues coming. One's already started, the USFL. You got the XFL coming. There's some beef between the two, which sign me up for that. I'm so here for it. I think this may be the chicken sandwich wars of the sports realm, I guess, like we used to see on the commercials. Do you think the USFL or the XFL, one or the other or both, will have a chance to have lasting power? We've kind of seen this movie before. That's a tough mountain to climb.
It would not be both. That's for sure. That's a lot of football. I had to pick when both of them came out. I love XFL more than the USFL because Seattle had a team and I had a chance to see them up close and personal. But 2-3 professional teams in football, that's gonna be hard to do. And so it just goes to show you guys, how hard it is to get to the NFL. And there's a lot of talent in both those leagues. But I believe only one could stand. If I had to put my finger on it, XFL.
Wow. Yeah, I agree
doubt
with you
the rock.
100%.
We'll see.
That's what I talked about.
USFL had a strong debut.
Yeah, they can, but that XFL, they can go out in the fringe a little bit. They can do more stuff.
And they have The Rock, too.
Yeah,
and they
never doubt the rock.
KJ, I want to take it to the college front for a minute. Actually, you and I were almost teammates at Mississippi State because Coach Kroom and Coach Beamer sure can recruit, all right? You played in the Senior Bowl. All right, I want to talk to you about what was that experience like. We have the draft coming up. How did the Senior Bowl help bridge college to the NFL, and how was your value? What was the value add for you as you were entering that NFL draft?
Fun. When you go to the Senior Bowl, that's your first opportunity to see what the NFL is like. They give you the playbook. They put you through a practice, and you get an upfront meet with the head coach and position coaches. So it was a really fun experience. When I was there, I had Von Miller, Colin Kaepernick was there. You get to mingle and talk to the fellas. But it can also, if you don't go in there correct, it can also mess up your draft stock as well. Mm-hmm. This was my first time as a professional player where I should have said no to the coaches. They wanted me to go down there and play defensive end. Like I'm a linebacker.
Yeah.
And so I had to go one-on-one and do rush against offensive tackles, and I got absolutely embarrassed. And one of my coaches in Seattle, he was like, when you did that, your draft stock went from to about here. So it's something that could really help your draft stock, but can also lower it as well.
That's a tough situation because you don't want to appear to be uncoachable, but at the same time, if you know what's best for you, that's tough.
You got to say in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't want to do this, but you got to be coachable. You got to say yes and go out there and do the best you can.
No
For
doubt.
sure. It's like it says linebacker. I'm behind the line. I'm not on the end of the line or on the edge of the line. That's not totally different positions too. That's why it's always amazing to see the guys that can play the jacks and can do a little bit of both from the eye level of getting back there and coming up. It's always interesting to see. But KJ, talk a lot of football before we let you go. Got a little hoops game in Olive Branch, little charity hoops game. Tell everybody about that.
So I was a dual sport athlete back in Olive Branch, Mississippi, played both basketball and football. And this summer, June 24th, I'm getting all the fellas back in our hometown to raise money for Olive Branch basketball team. And so it's guys from class of about 1990 to about 2013 that's be playing in this basketball game. We got a 3-point contest, dance team there, the alumni cheerleaders gonna be there. So it'll be really fun to get everybody back and raise money for the community.
Definitely, man. Well, KJ, I appreciate it, brother. We got to get you back on again soon. Good luck to you and great stuff, man.
I enjoyed it. Thank you, fellas.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
It. Great stuff there. Yeah, great stuff there with KJ Wright. Going to be interesting, too. The Deebo perspective was interested. When it came out and said he was going to move, everybody's going to talk about the teams and where he's going to go. But the possibility of him staying with the 49ers is something you got to look into as well. It might be a little bit of give and take here.
Yeah, and look, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does stay with the 49ers. I wish we had more time with KJ because I would like to follow up with a few things with Deebo Samuel specifically. I mean, look, he hasn't even finished out his rookie contract yet. It was a 4-year deal. He's played 3 seasons. One of those seasons he was injured for the most part, so he's played 2 full seasons. Now he had an otherworldly productive year last year. I get that, and everybody wants to maximize their opportunity when they're the hot commodity. I understand he wants to sign a big contract. At the same time, you haven't finished out your rookie deal yet. I think, I just don't like when players want to be traded or demand to be traded like that, especially when you haven't even gotten the opportunity to get that max yet in your first free agency. If you feel that strongly about it, remember that, log that in the back of your mind next year when you do become a free agency, and maybe put a premium on San Francisco, who wouldn't give you a deal early.
Well, if someone's going to pay him.
Yeah.
If San Francisco doesn't, boy's going to get paid, and he deserves to get paid because he was the offense for that team. And Deebo can do it all. Go back to the college of South Carolina. This guy can do it all. He could probably even play quarterback. I'm pretty sure I'll watch him throw a couple of touchdown passes too. Devonta Adams got that money he deserved, but Deebo's in that class, man.
He's one of the guys that can actually go there and say, all right, listen, y'all going to trade me, either going to pay me or you're going to trade me. It's a lot different when Deebo Samuel goes and says it as opposed to Baker Mayfield saying trade me after Deshaun Watson.
I was reading something earlier that said Christian Kirk really threw all this off. As a non-Pro Bowler and a non-1,000-yard receiver, getting the money that he got.
That made no sense to me.
Getting the money that he got is really what threw this entire thing out of whack. It wasn't, Devontae. Like, Devontae's going to get paid. Tyreek's going to get paid for sure, but it was Christian Kirk who kind of has really upset some of these guys who haven't even finished out their rookie deal yet.
It's true, and I don't think they're wrong to be upset. Blaine, what do we got in the Booster Club?
First of all, everyone's loving KJ in the Booster Club.
Nice.
What's not to love,
bunch
man?
of State fans in here.
Really?
Mississippi State?
Which you love to see.
Wow.
You love
That's
to
a little
see.
bit shocking.
You want to talk about
Actually, it's really
a defense that was just insanely good. When KJ was at that Mississippi State defense,
I remember that.
No, I was for real. Man.
People forget some of the beasts that have came out of Mississippi State. Dak Prescott, Chris Jones, who's, literally the size of a mobile home, basically. Good luck blocking that guy.
I almost went there. I was the year ahead of KJ.
You're almost hailing.
Y'all think KJ's bringing it up? You think he's in the post doing moves? Do you think he's doing a little bit of both?
I think KJ's doing a little bit of both.
You think
KJ's doing a little bit of both?
We should go play in his charity event.
Daily Wire champions.
Daily Wire champions.
We do have a belt.
Champions.
We do have a belt.
We are the champions.
We have a belt under our belt.
But Blaine, anything specific there?
Yes. Alan Adams says someone in this draft is going to reach for Kenny Pickett. And if it's not the Steelers,
they're going to.
If it's not the Steelers, I'm telling you, you know who's going to end up at the Steelers?
Baker Mayfield.
You think Baker now to Pittsburgh?
I can see it because it makes sense with what they have, but I can also not see it because of what I think they'd be willing to pay Baker. But if Baker got cut, it's different. You get traded, you get cut. If he got cut, then you're just kind of out there blowing in the wind. Gives the Steelers a lot of leverage. They'd probably sign him the next day. That's what I would.
You wouldn't have to move far. The geographical distance is not.
No. Throw a rocket
significant. So
but I don't know if Baker could throw.
I don't know, man. Kenny Pickett being a state kid like that, they may go get him. It's just not like the Steelers to go reach like that, is it?
No, but
at that position they've had Ben for so long, it's hard to say.
The Steelers always go for broke, though. I respect it. They try to win a championship every year, but something else I respect. 5 big questions.
5 big questions. You ready to go?
Let's dance.
And let's start with Major League Baseball. Will Aaron Judge sign a long-term max deal with the Yankees? Remember, he turned down $210 million before opening day.
It's just my instincts. I know he turned it down before opening day. We can go back to negotiating tactics and stuff like that. It just feels like instinctually to me that Aaron Judge is a lifetime Yankee. Like he's that type of guy. I think there's a big difference between Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, just the way it comes off for the Yankees. I know Aaron Judge as a Yankee. Major League Baseball fans and baseball fans know Aaron Judge as a Yankee. He's kind of a larger-than-life guy. He's literally huge. I mean, right field for him is you could play, cup ball out there, paper ball, whatever you want to call it. He could hit a home run. I just feel like they will get something figured out because Aaron Judge is one of those guys that will be a Yankee for a long, long, long time, then probably get traded somewhere late and then traded back to the Yankees to retire.
You think so?
Like kind of an Albert Pujols situation.
Gotcha.
But he's not. I don't think he's going to do what Albert did. He's going to hit a lot of balls out of the yard. but just Aaron Judge to me is a lifetime Yankee. I mean, they had the Judge's Court out there. You know, you remember that big saga that went on forever when he just came in the league and was just blasting off like Elon. And
a lot of people thought Freddie Freeman was going to be a Brave forever.
At every turn, boy, he just.
I mean, you never really know.
Am I wrong? No, I don't think I'm wrong. But I do think they need to sign Aaron.
Yeah.
Hey, the man, his money.
I agree with you on the Freddie front. I think that with the Yankees, it's a little bit different. I mean, one, Freddie was from California, and I think he was just done with the hometown discount thing. What was surprising is he stood by the franchise for so long, but after he won MVP and won a World Series, I think he's like, look, I did everything that was required of me for Atlanta. You know, I would be surprised if the Yankees let Aaron Judge get away. But at the end of the day, maybe they're looking at the numbers too, saying, hey, even though we can pay more than a lot of these mid-market teams, is that what's best? This Moneyball situation has a lot of other teams winning championships.
It's interesting for sure, but the Yankees, they seem to always find a way to reach down in that piggy bank and find that extra couple quarters.
For stars. Star power is worth something to them for sure as well. All right, next one. Let's move on to tennis. Wimbledon has announced that they are going to ban all Russian and Belarusian athletes from competing in this year's tournament. Your thoughts?
Can you hit the cacao button for me, please? Cacao. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. If Vladimir Putin was playing in Wimbledon and you wanted to ban him, I get it. If anybody in the army or in the government at Russia, if they get down over there, was playing in the tournament, I get it, ban them. These individual tennis players didn't do anything. Look at the NHL. The NHL players came out, the ones who were from Russia, Ovechkin, all them were like, we don't support this. You got the French Open.
The French Open's coming up.
Is coming up, and they're saying, listen, you can play. We're not going to ban you. You just can't play under the Russian flag.
Exactly.
And they're cool with it. Why are we punishing individuals? That'd be like me right now saying, you know what? We're not going to have any Germans on the show just because of World War II. We're not going to have any Germans on the show because of World War II, regardless if they had anything to do with it or not. It makes no sense. You're punishing individuals, and it's not like there's 300 Russian players that are playing in Wimbledon, or they're literally marching into the court bashing Ukraine. Hell, you got tennis players writing, we don't want war on cameras during the middle of matches that are from Russia. This is a stupid move by Wimbledon. It's a shallow move. I'm trying to find some sort of semblance of why you would do this. Are you trying to send a message to the Russian people? Are you trying? To me, this doesn't do it. Why not use the people that are from Russia that are already saying, hey, this isn't right. Let us go to Wimbledon. Let us tell everybody we don't think it's right. That will get you a lot further than doing what Wimbledon's doing. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Who are you trying to hurt? Because this isn't hurting Vladimir Putin.
You think he's going to be like, you know what, guys, hold on.
Yeah.
Stop the invasion.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to play in Wimbledon. Stop the invasion, guys. Hold on.
It's just unfair from
It's stupid.
Russia trying to play in the tournament.
It's stupid.
And almost in my eyes, somewhat disgusting.
Yeah, look, the All England Club, which runs Wimbledon, is a private organization. I think about it a lot in terms of, I liken it to the Masters. Right?
Yes.
It's a private club, and so if they want to invite certain players and not invite certain players, okay, I can get on board with this, freedom of a business to operate how they want to. Under certain conditions, but I'm going to be paying special attention to Wimbledon moving forward based on who they do invite and who they don't invite, and keeping in mind different atrocities that happen around the world. I mean, can you imagine this statement coming out, but instead of nationalities pointed out, it was skin color?
They did.
Gender.
It freaked out.
Wimbledon wouldn't exist.
It wouldn't
You know what I'm
exist.
saying?
I'm talking about getting canceled.
So I'm going to pay special attention moving forward about, so if there's a certain situation going on in a different country or in the Middle East, or athletes from there still allowed to compete in these different events, we're going to see.
Yeah, it's, again, I'm trying to find in my mind and rack my brain, and I'm not a strategist on the best way to go about these things. But I just don't get why if one of the Russian players that came out and said, down with Ukraine or something crazy like that, I get it. I get that. These players did nothing. They're from Russia.
Well,
and I guarantee you put a mic in their face and they'll be like, we do not support what's going on there. It would help you a lot more. I'll say this again, then we can move on. It'll help you a lot more if you got the players that were from Russia to say what they thought, and I'm guessing would be against what's going on, as opposed to saying, you know what, you're from Russia, you can't play.
See, even that, I don't think we even need to know what they think or don't think on the geopolitical landscape. Many of these athletes don't even live in Russia anymore. You know,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Many of them aren't even voting in that country.
What are you getting out of this? Well, what are you accomplishing?
Yeah.
If you're Wimbledon, what are you accomplishing? You're accomplishing nothing.
But they said unless something drastic, or the phrase they used was unless there's a material change in the coming months.
Which that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. Let's go on to the Suns. Look, Devin Booker exited Game 2 for the Suns last night. So if Devin Booker can't go, can the Suns still make it out of the West?
Blaine, you handle this one first.
Make it out of the West?
Mm-hmm. Can they represent the West?
No.
No? If Devin Booker can't go?
No. They can win this series.
They could
maybe win the next.
Damn, I hate when I agree with you 100%.
Win the next, but they're not making it out of the West.
So you don't need, so the Pels
because you got to go. I mean, go back to the regular season. I know it's different than the playoffs, but they played well without Devin.
Yeah.
Now Devin was gone for a little bit.
And Chris
they played
Paul.
well, and without Chris Paul. This is a team that is built to succeed. Just with the pieces that they have.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain teams lurking around right now.
Golden State?
Lurking around that I don't think they can get past without Devin Booker.
I agree with Blaine, but there is one small caveat I want to throw in there. Everybody's going to say, oh, well, they can get by this series without Devin Booker. I watched y'all get beat up at home last night. I watched y'all get beat up at home by the Pels. And the Pels were playing pretty good coming into the postseason. Saw what they did in the play-in, stuff like that. You're going back to NOLA now. You're going to New Orleans. It's 1-1. The Pels won the first 2 games of the series. Even though it's 1-1, you can steal one at home at the other person's place. It puts you in a great position. You don't have Devin Booker for game 3 or 4. I don't see them going to NOLA. And we can always talk. We talked about yesterday. Everybody talks about James Harden choking the playoffs. CP3 continues to do it. You better call State Farm to go figure it out. You better get old boy from all those commercials now. And I'm not talking about the original Jake from State Farm to go start helping out. Because, yeah.
You're the original Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, that's
I am Jake.
Maybe. And maybe I stopped wearing khakis for like 2 years because of that commercial. But what I'm saying is, you're going to go to New Orleans, game 3, game 4. Suns don't have Devin Booker.
So is that
you
official?
lose those 2?
Is that news official?
Oh, it's official.
Who's winning the series, Jake?
Right now, gun to my head, I think they go lose 2 in New Orleans. I think it's 3-1. I think they come back.
They win
in Phoenix because it's 2-2, 1-1-1.
Yep.
So New Orleans goes and wins those 2. It's 3-1 going back to Phoenix. They'll win that one. Devin Booker will come back and they'll play that one. And the Pels will win.
Wow.
The Pels will win.
Okay, so a few things.
The Pels will win.
First of all, that's a hot take.
The Pels are going to win. The Pels are going to win the series. T-Bob, Jacob Hester, Mincy, Cruz, all my boys down in
watching T-Bob shotgun
Louisiana. The Pels are winning the series.
If they do win the series, which I think the Suns are going to win the series, I don't want to hear any Suns complain about not having their best player. Because you look at the Pelicans. Who do they not have?
Zion.
Their best player.
Zion.
I don't want to hear none of that.
300. It's like they said in 300. Our arrows will blot out the sun.
If Arizona can't win March Madness and the Suns can't make it out of the West, and there's something going on out there.
Listen, I'm just telling you guys right now. I'm telling y'all, look at each one of y'all in y'all's eyes, even without Blaine's old X-Men glasses he wears every now and then. The Pels are going to win both these games. Oh, there he is.
Elton?
Yeah, Cerebro. The Pels are going to win both these games at home. They're going to be up 3-1. It's going to go back to Phoenix. They'll lose. It'll be 3-2. They'll go back to NOLA for game 6. NOLA's going to close it out.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
BE aggressive.
That ain't no guess.
I think they'll split. They'll split in NOLA.
Okay.
Then the Suns will win at home. They might close it out in NOLA.
All right, let's get to the next one.
Let's go to NHL. The Eastern Conference is set.
Yup.
The playoffs. The West, still a mess, okay? Still up for grabs. I want to know which 2 teams will be the wild card teams in the West. We got Nashville, Dallas, Las Vegas is still in the hunt. What do you think?
I think you're going to get 5 out of the Central.
5 out of Central?
I think you're going to get 5 out of the Central. I know the Preds schedule is the toughest one left. I get
gauntlet.
it. But you don't get a mascot name or a nickname like the Predators unless you're out there either doing horrible things in one way or another. And the way that the Predators do it in their way, I think they're going to end up making it. I think the Predators will get in. The Knights, I just don't believe in them, Cone.
You don't?
I just don't believe in them. I think the Stars and the Preds are getting in.
And it's still not a lock in terms of the automatic qualifiers in the Pacific. But the Kings, who have 92 points, the Kings who have 92 points do have the easiest schedule remaining.
They've got the easiest one, but I just got a weird feeling about
Vegas, 87 points. Look, this thing is not a lock, but I do agree with you. Even though Nashville's schedule is this much of a gauntlet, I think that there will be 5 teams from the Central. Nashville and Dallas will get in. My question now is, let's get even more specific. Who will get the top wild card? Well, Nashville has 93 points right now. Dallas has 91. Dallas doesn't have an easy schedule, but the Predators' schedule is the toughest. It does matter because whoever gets the second wild card will have to play the Avalanche. The first wild card will get to play the Flames. So, do you think this will be a Nashville Avalanche first round playoff situation?
I want you to look at me. Where are we at right now?
We're in Nashville.
I'm going Preds, Cone, and we're going to be there next Tuesday.
We're going to be there next Tuesday against the Flames. We're going next Tuesday night against the Flames. Are you getting a jersey beforehand?
I'm going to think about it. I may just show up with a bucket full of water. I'm going to douse the Flames.
I love it.
Because I said I didn't believe in Calgary, and I'm picking Nashville, so it's going to be kind of a molding of the world.
I'll tell you what, man. I won 2 picks this week on Calgary. The first period.
You've been winning all your picks, Cone.
Well, look, I'm down 3, champions mentality. That's how we come into the building.
Right.
Calgary, the first period I watched Calgary play the other day, they look like a championship hockey team. And then the question is, in the final week, do the teams who have already solidified, do they take it easy? The teams who are trying to still get
That's why I'm not so bought into the, well, they have the toughest schedule left of any of the teams, because some of the teams they played have clinched, and they're like, we already know what we're going to be. Y'all go out there and have a great time, guys.
Preds won a tough one last night against Calgary.
Telling you. It's a real thing.
In OT.
True story.
In a shootout, I believe, actually.
True.
All right. Last one.
Yep.
Nets Celtics. It's a very simple question. Who you got?
Blanier?
What? I mean, why do you keep asking me this question?
You didn't take him as one of your picks, so I'm questioning your commitment to Brooklyn.
Okay.
Down 1-0.
You want me to? Did you pick him to win?
Don't worry about my pick.
Okay. I picked him to win the NBA, so yes, I have the Nets winning this series in 7.
But I'm asking you about tonight. Tonight, do you have them winning? Do you have the Nets winning tonight?
No.
You got them going down 0-2.
Just because they're on the road?
On the road. I got them going. I think they're going to win both at home. All right, but I do think they win Game 7 in Boston.
Gotcha.
Somebody steps up tonight that we're not talking about. Everybody's going to talk about Jason Tatum, Durant, who didn't play great last game, Kyrie Irving. But somebody is going to step up. Is it Bruce Brown for the Nets?
Seth Curry?
Is it Seth Curry for the Nets? You know, who from the Celtics is going to be able to keep doing their thing? I mean, you got Jaylen Brown, Marcus. I'm making a lot smarter decisions lately. Smart, doing well. But somebody tonight is going to step up for the Celtics.
Horford?
That we're not talking about. Al, but to me, I'm not shocked when Al steps
Al's going to play good just because of the size.
He's
just steady Eddie, man.
Years in the league. I think the Celtics do win tonight. I think it's going to be another great game. I think this could end up being the best series of the whole NBA playoffs for itself.
And I do not disagree.
And we're going to get to the Booster Club a ton. But if you want to watch or listen to the rest of the show, head over to the Daily Wire and become a member. Join the squad. Or listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with your friends and everybody else in your life. We're going to be right back with boosters, bets, a lot of great stuff, and Cone's Get Off My Lawn, curmudgeon at his finest at 6'7".